Ladies, I'm just gonna say it because no one else will. We've all sniffed our clothes and thought, oh, that's fine for one more wear. And listen, I used to be the queen of one more wear. That gray cardigan? It was practically glued to me last winter. I wore it to the shops, to dinner, to my doctor's appointment, even while cleaning the bathroom. It didn't look dirty, so why wash it? But one Sunday morning, something made me pause. I was getting ready for brunch with the girls, and as I reached for my trusty cardigan, I got this faint, stale smell. It wasn't awful, just off. Like a mix between old perfume and something a little sour. I gave it a shake, sprayed a bit of rose water, and threw it on. But the whole time at brunch, I kept catching little whiffs of something not so fresh. And darling, it wasn't the food. That was my wake-up call. Now don't get embarrassed. We all do it, especially with outerwear. Cardigans, shawls, jackets, even bras. They become our comfort pieces. But here's the thing. Just because something looks clean doesn't mean it smells clean. Especially as we get older, our skin changes. I didn't know this until my GP explained it. Apparently, as we age, our skin produces more of a compound called 2-non-enol. It's a fatty acid that gives off a slightly greasy or grassy scent. Not strong, but definitely noticeable, especially when it settles into fabric. And here's the kicker. It clings most to natural fibers like cotton and wool, the same breathable fabrics we love. Plus, older skin tends to shed more cells. Combine that with a bit of perfume, some natural body oil, and maybe yesterday's lunch prep, and you've got yourself a scent cocktail no dry shampoo can fix. And the worst part? We stop noticing it ourselves. Our noses get used to it, but others don't. I remember hugging my granddaughter that same day. She said sweetly, "Grandma, your sweater smells like your couch." I laughed, but inside I was mortified. I went home, peeled that thing off, and did a deep sniff. She was right. It had absorbed every bit of my week, and not in a good way. So now, I follow a new rule. If it touches my skin or hair, it gets washed after 1 or 2 wears. And bras, minimum every 3 wears. You'd be surprised how much odor lingers there, especially under the arms and band. I also rotate more often. That way, nothing sits around getting musty. I even invested in a few extra cardigans. One for errands, one for lounging, and one for going out. That way, I can give them all a chance to breathe. And for the pieces that aren't machine washable, I hang them in sunlight when I can. Natural light does wonders. One more trick? Keep a lavender sachet in your closet, but don't use heavy fabric sprays. They just cover the smell, not remove it. Like putting lipstick on a pig, as my aunt used to say. Listen, it's not about being obsessed with laundry. It's about staying fresh, feeling confident, knowing that when someone leans in for a hug, they smell you, not last week's stir-fry or perfume that turned on you. We don't need to smell like we've been through a compost heap to prove we're living. Take it from me. The minute I started, treating my clean-looking clothes like skin, not furniture, I noticed a change. Not just in smell, but in how I carried myself. It's that little spark of pride that comes from knowing you're put together, even down to your sweater sleeves. So if you're sitting there thinking, "Oh no, I'm wearing the same jumper I wore yesterday," don't panic. Just give it a wash later. Or better yet, go put on something fresh and soft and lovely, just for you. Because you deserve to smell as radiant as you are. Now don't throw your mug at me, but we have to talk about something controversial. Coffee. I know. I love it too. The smell, the warmth, the way it kickstarts your morning and makes you feel like you've got your life together. But here's the truth no one told me. Your daily coffee habit might actually be messing with your body odor. Let me back up. A few months ago, I started noticing this odd change. I was doing everything right. Clean clothes, fresh showers, even a bit of perfume. But by mid-morning, I'd catch a little whiff of myself that wasn't exactly pleasant. Not strong, but off. Like sour sweat mixed with nerves. It didn't matter what deodorant I used. The smell kept showing up around the same time every day. I blamed my detergent. I blamed my hormones. I blamed stress. But do you know what the real culprit was? That second cup of coffee one day. I happened to mention it to my doctor. Bless him, he's one of those rare ones who actually listens. He raised an eyebrow and said, "You know caffeine can change how your body smells, right?" I nearly dropped my reusable to-go cup. Turns out caffeine stimulates your central nervous system. That means more adrenaline, a slightly raised heart rate, and yes, increased sweat production, even if you're just sitting there doing your crossword. And here's the tricky part. Stress sweat, the kind triggered by stimulants like caffeine, smells different than regular sweat. It comes from different glands called apocrine glands, which are concentrated in places like your underarms and groin. And that sweat, it's like a buffet for bacteria. Now, I'm not saying coffee is evil. I still drink it, but I've learned how to outsmart it. First, I swapped my second cup for green tea. Still gives me a little lift, but with less caffeine and fewer side effects. On hot days, I switched to iced herbal teas like peppermint or rooibos. They hydrate me instead of drying me out. Because, yes, caffeine also dehydrates you. And dry skin can lead to more oil production. And boom, odor. Second, I adjusted the timing. If I do have coffee, it's only in the morning, never after 10 a.m. That way my body has time to regulate itself before the afternoon slump hits. And you know, what? I feel more even-keeled, less sweaty, less edgy, less musty. I also started drinking more water. I know, you've heard it 1,000 times, but flushing out toxins really does help with how you smell. Think of it this way. If your body's a house, water is your housekeeper. Without it, everything lingers. Another thing I noticed, my breath got better too. Coffee breath is real, and even if you don't smell it, other people do. I now carry those little dry mouth lozenges in my purse and swish with mouthwash midday. Just a quick rinse can make a world of difference. But the biggest shift wasn't just physical. It was mental. I stopped relying on caffeine to push through every little dip in energy. I started listening to my body instead. When I felt tired, I rested. When I felt foggy, I stretched or stepped outside. It's amazing how much fresher you feel when your body's not battling the side effects of something it never really wanted. Now, don't worry. I'm not here to cancel your morning. Brew! But I am here to say this. If you're finding yourself clean, but still catching a mystery whiff halfway through the day, take a look at your cup. And if you feel brave, go a few mornings without it. Just see what happens. Because body odor isn't always about hygiene. Sometimes it's about chemistry. And when you tweak just one ingredient, like that beautiful, aromatic, slightly sweaty cup of coffee, you might just find your natural scent becomes a little sweeter. Now, I'm going to say something that might sting a little. That cute top you love, the stretchy one that feels like a second skin, it could be harboring more stink than you realize. I learned this one the hard way. It started one summer when I was getting back into walking around the park each morning. I was feeling good, had my comfy leggings on, my moisture-wicking activewear top, and I was getting compliments from neighbors who hadn't seen me out in a while. "Look at you getting your steps in," they'd say, and I'd smile, wave, and keep going. But after a week or two, I noticed something off. I'd barely broken a sweat, but I smelled like I'd just finished a full-blown boot camp. I mean, it was bad. Worse than my usual post-garden pottering or kitchen dancing sessions. And the strange thing was, no matter how much I washed the clothes, or myself, the smell kept clinging. Not strong like body odor, but faint, sour, and a little plasticky. So what did I do? Googled it, of course. And oh, the rabbit hole I fell into. Turns out synthetic fabrics like polyester, nylon, spandex, and acrylic are some of the worst offenders when it comes to trapping and magnifying body odor. Why? Because they're basically made of plastic. And plastic doesn't breathe. That means sweat and oils from your skin don't evaporate the way they do with natural fibers. Instead, they get stuck in the fabric, where bacteria has a little party and leaves behind that familiar funk. What's worse, synthetic fabrics don't release odor very easily in the wash, so you could be wearing a clean shirt that still smells like last Tuesday's sweat. And ladies, let's not lie to ourselves. We've all got a few favorites we hang on to because they still fit, or they're great for layering. But if they're made of synthetic materials and have been through years of washing, drying, sweating, and more, they're probably past their prime. Here's what I do now, and it's made a real difference. First, I read every clothing label, like it's the back of a cake mix box. If something is 100% polyester, I think twice. If it's a blend with cotton, bamboo, or linen, I'm more forgiving. I've swapped most of my underlayers, like camisoles and tees, for breathable natural fabrics. They may not cling as nicely, but they let my skin breathe. And guess what? Less sweat, less smell. Second, I learned about enzyme-based detergents. You'll find them in the sportswear section of the supermarket or online. These detergents are designed to break down the proteins in sweat and body oils that regular soaps can miss. I use them once a week on anything that's synthetic or clingy. Third, I rotate my outfits like a French woman rotates her scarves. No more wearing the same leggings 3 days in a row, even if I just wore them for a bit. If it's touched my skin, it goes in the laundry. And I give my bras and shapewear extra care. Those tight areas, under the bust, around the back, are major sweat zones. And here's my favorite new habit: sunshine. After washing, I try to hang my clothes outside for at least an hour. Sunlight naturally kills bacteria and freshens fabrics. Bonus points if there's a light breeze. Nothing smells better than a sun-dried cotton blouse. I promise you. Now, I'm not saying toss out your entire wardrobe, but if you've got a few mystery smells following you, and your hygiene is on point, check what's on your body. Because sometimes it's not you. It's your clothes. And just like we deserve makeup that suits our skin and shoes that support our knees, we also deserve fabrics that let us breathe and smell as lovely as we feel. All right, ladies. I saved this one for last because it took me years to figure out. And when I finally did, I had to sit down, fan myself, and say, well, now that explains a lot. Let's talk about towels. Yes, those plush, cozy things you hang in the bathroom and swear are clean because you only use them twice. I get it. We're not wasteful. We don't throw things in the laundry after a single use like our grandkids do. We grew up rinsing, reusing, and making things last. But hear me now. Your towel habits might be the hidden culprit behind that musty body smell you can't quite place. Here's what happened. I was visiting my daughter in the city for a long weekend. I packed light, just the essentials. One fluffy towel I loved, a couple of face cloths, and my favorite body lotion. But by day 3, I noticed something. I was clean, showered, wearing fresh clothes. But I still smelled, well, not like me, not fresh, a bit sour, a little damp. And then it hit me. The towel. It hadn't dried properly in her smaller bathroom. It was starting to smell musty. But since I'd used it to dry off after every shower, that smell had transferred to me. I was basically pressing that odor back into my clean skin every morning without realizing it. Turns out dermatologists have a name for this. They call it recontamination. When you dry yourself with a damp, used towel, you're not just patting off water. You're rubbing old bacteria, skin cells, sweat residue, and mildew right back onto your skin. And worse, it creates the perfect environment for subtle, lingering body odor, especially in those warm, soft spots, underarms, thighs, under the bust, anywhere moisture gets trapped. So here's what I've changed at home. 1. Fresh towels every 2-3 uses, max. And if the bathroom is humid or the towel smells even slightly off, in the wash it goes. No more, "Oh, it's just damp." Damp is where stink starts. 2. Towels get the hot water treatment. I wash all towels on the hottest setting my machine allows, with a dash of white vinegar. It strips away buildup and kills off any bacteria or mildew. Fabric softener? Skip it. It might make them feel nice, but it coats the fibers and traps more funk over time. 3. Sun drying when possible. If I can hang towels outside, I will. Sunlight is nature's disinfectant, and nothing beats that crisp, fresh scent from a breeze-dried towel. Feels like a spa. 4. I rotate face cloths daily, especially the one I use for underarms and feet. I used to think once a week was fine. I was wrong. A wet cloth sitting in the shower all day? That's a petri dish with a hook on it. 5. I store towels in an airy cupboard. If they're packed tight or near anything musty, like old shoes or unopened boxes, they absorb it. I learned that the hard way when a brand new stack of guest towels came out of the cupboard already smelling like attic. Not cute. Now here's the bonus lesson. If you've ever wondered why you smell lovely after a shower but feel like something changes an hour later, don't blame your body right away. It might be that towel doing the sneaky sabotage. It's like putting on fresh makeup with a dirty brush. You're starting off clean, but the tools are working against you. Let me tell you, since I've started this towel routine, I've noticed such a difference. My skin feels smoother, my clothes stay fresher, and my bathroom smells like eucalyptus and not like a damp gym bag. And yes, my granddaughter noticed again. She said, "Grandma, your bathroom smells fancy now." I'll take that. So if you've made it this far, thank you. You're not just keeping yourself clean, you're keeping yourself informed. And that, my friend, is how we age like fine wine, not forgotten laundry. Remember, body odor isn't just about hygiene, it's about habits. And now, you're one step ahead. Thank you for sticking with me. And if you made it all the way to the end, I'm sending you a virtual high five. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below, telling me what's worked for you in keeping your home fresh. If you want more tips like these, sign up for my Savvy Senior newsletter. It's free, fabulous, and full of helpful wisdom that can keep you living your best, most vibrant life.